Hello everyone, I'm Sujata Tantuluri, Senior Solutions Architect with AWS. Today we are going to talk about my recent blog, Harnessing Amazon Bedrock for Resilient Supply Chain. So this blog is co-authored by Marcelo Silva, Principal Product Manager at Amazon Web Services, and Ishan Gupta, who is Software Engineer at Amazon Bedrock. So, in the recent years, our global supply chains have faced unprecedented challenges from pandemic shutdowns to geopolitical tensions. These disruptions have underscored a vital lesson. Supply chain excellence isn't about efficiency, it's about resilience and ability to navigate through chaos. Today, we are going to demo how you can use Bedrock to build a resilient supply chain. So without much delay, let's get into the demo. I'm in Amazon Bedrock console. In the flow section, I'll click on the create flow, provide the name of the flow. You can optionally describe the flow itself. I'll be creating a new role by clicking on create and use new role. This is the visual editor for Amazon Bedrock flows. It consists of nodes, which is a step in the workflow, and connections, which connect those nodes. We will now drop the prompt node into the visual editor. Click on the prompt, and you can see in the left hand under the configure, you can define different properties for the node. You can select a prompt from your prompt management or define it in the node. We will select defining the node. We'll add the prompt into the message field. We'll select the model, Anthropic, Claude 3.5, Sonnet v1. Let's observe the message once. You can see we have a variable defined within double curly braces. This will be your input variable. Let's define an expression for that. In the input section, append it to the dot data. Now you have established the input. You can add more than one input variables by adding them in the curly braces in the prompt itself. We will now join the input node to the prompt node. For that, we need to first delete the connection between the input and output nodes. We'll click on the connection itself very close to the output node. That deletes the connection between the two nodes. Now we will click on the circle of the input node and drag it all the way to the prompt node input. That establishes the connection between input node and the prompt node. We will now add the Lambda node. Click on the Lambda node and in the configure section, select the Lambda that was defined earlier. In the blog, there is a CloudFormation template which will pre-build the Lambda for you. Change the output of the Lambda to object. Connect the output of the prompt node to the input of the Lambda function. Now that we have seen how you can configure the nodes, how you can connect different nodes, I will take you to a pre-built supply chain flow and walk you through that. Earlier, we saw prompt and Lambda functions. This is a completely built flow. So I'll walk you through from the conditions. When you click on the condition node, you can see that it requires two inputs. One is classification, one is a shortage. A classification of a device determines what is the nature of the device, what is the risk and impacts. A device with a classification 3 is a high risk medical device that are essential for sustaining health, life or health. If you determine it is if a device is of a classification 3 and it has a shortage, it requires a very comprehensive mitigation strategy. So it has to look at different knowledge base, the different documents, different sources in the knowledge base, and then determine the comprehensive mitigation. So our node that connects to this condition is a knowledge base node. If a device is of a classification 2, which is a medium risk medical device, that can pose harm to patients, but it is not like life threatening. If there is a shortage for that device, it will go through S3. And the reason we use S3 is it may be a simple mitigation and doesn't require summarization from different and creating a new comprehensive mitigation strategy, but just fetching the document, the content of that document. So that's why we have connected to S3 retrieval node. There is no shortage, or if it is device 1, it just goes to the output and it gives you the results. You can see the results from the S3 and knowledge bases are also given as an output. In case if it is a device 3, you also have another path where it goes and sends out an email. So this is the entire flow. You can test that using the test flow here. My blog, which is in the description, has a JSON, sample JSON, which you can use for testing. I will enter that description, the JSON which we will be using for testing, and hit run. Seems like there is a shortage, and now the knowledge base will generate a comprehensive strategy. Knowledge bases has created a comprehensive strategy. I got an error because I did not give an email address, but there are other testing scenarios as well, which are described in my blog. So this concludes the session. Have fun building more flows. Thank you.